Thank you very much for this question. You're asking how to deal with toxicity at workplaces. I think it's a very important question, very relevant question, especially now because we are seeing more and more cases of burnout, moral injury, anxiety, depression associated very strongly with workplace toxicity. And so, to try and answer the question, I'll draw from my own clinical experience cases that I've dealt with that are related to workplace toxicity. And there's one common scenario that tends to come up. And this is a scenario where you've got a dynamic of two categories of individuals in the workplace. One category is of people who know what they want exactly, and they're willing to do whatever is necessary to get it. So these individuals tend to have very high self esteem, very high self worth. And then you have another category of individuals who don't really know what they want. And if they know what they want, then they don't feel like they're worth it. So they don't go after it. They don't pursue whatever it is that they desire in the workplace. But they know that they want to be useful in some way. They know that they want to be helpful on some capacity. And so it's the interaction between these two categories of people in the dynamic that tends to then breed toxicity in the workplace. And I'll explain why. So, take for example, the people with high self esteem, they know what they want. So they might have their eyes set on a particular goal, whether it's to gain visibility from their superiors in the workplace, their bosses, or to gain recognition, or to be promoted, or to get a bonus, or whatever it is that they want. And they're willing to do what it takes. So they might be hardworking or lazy, but they're willing to do whatever is necessary. And whatever is necessary is you using their resourcefulness. And part of their resourcefulness is knowing who can help me get what I want, who can help me, satisfy my self-interest here. And so they come to these people who are willing to be useful, who are willing to be helpful. And so before coming to them, they might have not had, any one-on-one interaction, meaning they would not have said hi to them, they would not even know their names. But now that they need help, they would come to them and ask for that help. And because this person wants to be helpful, they willingly agree to help. And so the help is offered. Now, the point at which toxicity begins is how they interpret this interaction. The person with high self-esteem is going to look at it as a means to an end. You helped me get what I want. That's it. There's no personal attachment to the interaction. But then the person who with low self-esteem usually tends to attach a personal expectation to helping this person. And the personal expectation would be they expect that from now on their relationship is going to change. This person is going to start saying hi, or is going to be friendly, or they're going to be friends. Or they're expecting at the very least that the person is going to be appreciative, to show gratitude for the help that they were offered. And usually that doesn't happen. Like I said, the person with high self-esteem has a different interpretation of the interaction from the person with low self-esteem. And so what is going to continue into toxicity is that feeling of disappointment, that feeling of being let down, of being unappreciated, of being unseen, of being unrecognized for their effort. As they have future interactions in the same workplace, then the disappointment keeps getting exacerbated, which can then transform into feelings of resentment, feelings of envy, feelings of jealousy, more negative feelings. And this is usually from the person with low self-esteem. And now, from my own anecdotal evidence, which is from my own experience, I've come to learn that the people who complain most about workplace toxicity are usually the category of people who don't know what they want, who have low self-esteem, low self-worth, who might know what they want, but they're not willing to go after it. They don't think they're worthy to go after it. They're the ones who complain the most about workplace toxicity. And so one of the things that you're going to discover in therapy about yourself, if you're in this category, is that you have put yourself in a position where you're vulnerable to be taken advantage of. You have put yourself in a position where you're susceptible to be used by other people. So once you come to the acknowledgement, once you become aware that it's where you've put yourself in the company, in the organization, that makes you an easy target to be used, to be taken advantage of, then the next step is, so do you want to stay there? Because if you keep staying there, the situation won't change. Do you want to continue being a people pleaser? Do you want to continue doing other things for other people? Do you want to be there to be helpful, or do you have your own personal goals? And so as you discover that, as you become aware of that, then it's time to take action. Do you want to get yourself out of that position of weakness, out of that position of vulnerability? And so once you make that decision, then you realize that it's not so much that the workplace is toxic. And in a lot of cases also, I've learned that it's usually not the entire workplace. It's one person or two people that are making it difficult for you to work. And then you want to look at what is the relationship dynamic going on, what are the interactions they have that make it toxic, what are these emotions that fall under the umbrella of toxicity. And you realize just a bunch of negative emotions: disappointment, frustrations, feeling stuck, feeling used, feeling taken advantage of, feeling manipulated. All of these together make a cocktail that now we call toxic. And so it becomes important now to narrow it down to specific situations that promote this toxicity in the workplace. And now, like I said, you realize that the people with low self-esteem, because they keep getting taken advantage of because of the position they put themselves in, then that is what promotes the toxicity in the workplace for them. And so one of the things that they have to do is get themselves out of that position of low self-esteem, out of that position of vulnerability, and into a position where now they can start pursuing their own goal. They can feel confident about themselves to go after what they desire, what they want professionally.